Hi, this is Dr. Anita, and thank you for continuing to tune in. We've talked briefly and previously about the properties of diamonds, that they're exceptionally hard, and that some of the challenges of our lives are very hard to experience. Diamonds are produced through time, heat, and pressure, and some of the challenges of our lives go on for a very long time and cause great discomfort, and it puts us under a seemingly unbearable amount of pressure at times. These are the experiences which will give us what nothing else can. It'll give us the ability to look around, take in the situation around us, and make different decisions for our futures. We ended the last episode of the podcast talking about greed. The greed that we might have, and also the greed of others, and how one of the manifestations of that greed is actually being willing to steal from someone on their deathbed. I know that's severe. I know it's shocking, but it actually does happen. Not only has it happened in the past, but it is happening right now in 2023, or whenever you're hearing this podcast. It's happening in the lives of people who trusted some that they should not have. And sometimes they trusted them because maybe they felt there was no one else around. Maybe they felt that the person that they were placing their trust in were really in their corner, on their side, and not realizing that there are people who are willing to wait years and years and years to have access to what they wouldn't have. They're willing to develop relationships in order to get what they want to get. And we have to be more aware of who's around us and why they're around us in order to lead a more productive and stable life. Sometimes we are trusting the wrong people and we don't even recognize it. Sometimes it's because we've gone out of our way to silence that inner voice that is attempting to direct us. I talk all the time about having a spiritual foundation, something that will give you the ability to say yes or no. And there are people who have not developed that at this point. If you're a person who doesn't know about spiritual things, or maybe it seems foolish to you, then I hope that you'll continue listening, because you have the ability to challenge that limiting behavior and possibly come up with boundaries that will determine whether or not you will prosper in life. As I ended the previous broadcast, I said that these people are not going to prosper. You can't take advantage of someone at such a vulnerable place in their lives and think that it's going to turn out well for you. It won't. Someone is going to steal from you. You won't be able to hold it because you don't have and haven't gone through the process to be able to take care of these things. And you'll find yourself in that same situation, that you've trusted someone who cannot be trusted. And when you needed them most, they reverted to who they always were, and they did what they had determined to do. I've seen it happen to the point where maybe someone gave their health power of attorney to someone that they really could not trust. And that someone took advantage of their ultimate vulnerability. And instead of making a decision that would or could have brought peace to their families, or peace to the people around them, or even peace to that person, they chose to decide, I don't think they want to live this way. And so, no, we will not provide the life-saving medical treatment. Only to leave that place and go and ransack someone's house looking for their valuables, looking for what could be taken before anyone found out, or anyone would be able to stop them in this endeavor. I've seen it happen to the point that they hired consultants to come in and price all of the deceased person's possessions. I've seen it happen where they attempted in no way to locate the person's family. I've heard of a situation where the person said, I thought everybody was dead, and so what they left was for me. You have to be careful. You have to look around. You have to be willing, number one, to put the outcome of your life in the hands of someone that has proven over time to be trusted. Not somebody who has proven over time to be slick, that has proven over time that they really do have something else up in their sleeve other than their arm. You have to be discerning, because it can come a time when you lose your life trusting someone that you shouldn't. We talked about the fact that there are some who see themselves as someone who would never be able to have the opportunity to gain these possessions on their own. That they look at this as an opportunity to enlarge themselves. And they've never taken into consideration the fact that they will have to lay down at night. They will have to sleep. They will have to look at themselves in the mirror. And that there could actually be criminal charges that go along with what they've done. Depending on what they have moved or attempted to secret away for themselves, they may have just run into the legal consequences that they never wanted to experience. When we give over the control of our lives to others, we really do need to know who they are. We also need to be willing to put more than just that one person in charge. I would counsel anyone that when you're making your healthcare decisions, that you name more than one person. I would definitely recommend, when you're putting together a will or trust document, that you give it or store it somewhere that someone can't come in, ransack your home, and then say there wasn't a will. Also understand that depending on where you live, there's going to be a probate procedure that takes place with the state. In the United States, the probate courts are looking to tax what they can of the estate. So even that person who thinks that they'll be able to walk away with everything is still subject to probate laws. And those probate laws will come into effect when that person dies. I want to also address not only stealing possessions, but stealing opportunities. Stealing opportunities for families to say goodbye to each other. Stealing opportunities that maybe a reconciling of relationships could have occurred. But because someone was so greedy that they felt as though if I let their family know that something is wrong, they'll step in and I won't be able to get or to have what I've had my eyes on for years. Inserting yourself in someone's life like this is a very serious commitment. Someone has trusted you to make life decisions for them when they're not able to. And those decisions need to be made by someone who has an internal guidance system that says it might be necessary for them, for their peace and for the peace of their family, to reconcile. Most of the time, as I've said, there's two sides to every story. And what one person may have expressed to you as a reason, maybe that they weren't in as close communication with their families as they could have been, might not have been about their family at all. It might have been about them. It might have been the only way that they thought that they could control their lives. It may not have been about their families at all. People can be sold a bill of goods. They can be told anything. It doesn't mean that what they perceive as truth is truth. It may be that they have created a scenario which allows them to have what they want, to do what they want to do. And now at this point in their lives, where they're not able to reach back to their families and say, I need you, there comes someone who has presented themselves as trustworthy, who actually are not. When you're making the decision as to who will make medical decisions for you, should you become unable to make those decisions for yourself, put more than one person in charge. And put more than one person from the associates of that person. Someone from different areas of your life. Maybe a childhood friend. Maybe someone that is in a leadership position that you respect, along with this person that you decided to trust. Because then the decision would be made by more than one person, and hopefully someone in that group would be able to realize that maybe in order for you to have full closure and your family to have full closure, that you need to reconcile, or at least be able to say, have the opportunity to say, I've made mistakes, or maybe give them the opportunity to say, I've made mistakes. There's some places that we can be in our lives that once those decisions are made, whether you're the person who was greedy or the person who was victimized by the greed of others, that you can't undo, you can't redo, you can't go back and fix, because those opportunities now are gone. So it's worth it to think about it long and hard before you put yourself in this situation. I'm Dr. Anita McLaughlin, a transformational counselor, mentor, chaplain, author, and entrepreneur, and you've just entered a diamond moment. Thank you for listening, and join me next time as we redefine the previous steps of your process. Never forget, becoming is a process. A process has stages. One small change changes everything. So invest in yourself. Please visit my website at www.DrAnitaMc.com. That's DrAnitaMc.com for links and additional information. And please rate the podcast if you're enjoying it.